Hey, what's up guys? Hopefully everybody's doing very well, and what you just heard was my attempt at guitar solo in On That Morning by Robben Ford. That's on the Bringing It Back Home album. I think this is a very beautiful little jazz guitar solo, and it's not that intimidating, so if you're not a jazz player or a winter true jazz player, you can actually do this, I think. Hopefully the solo tutorial will show you how to do that very easily. Gear-wise, Robben Ford uses a vintage Epiphone Riviera from the 1960s on the record. Those are the Kalamazoo built Epiphones. I think those are great guitars. I don't have one laying around, but I do have my vintage Casino here, so the Casino is the guitar of choice. This Casino has a few street upgrades, such as a couple of holes here and there and a fixed head crack, and it also has humbucker routing, unfortunately, and the pickups are not original. One's 58 and one's 66, so the latter is the era correct one. But hey, that's how people from the street like you and me can acquire those guitars for a sort of reasonable price, right? Reasonable? Somewhat reasonable? Nope. Anyway, it's now time to go to the solo tutorial and hope you'll have fun. Let's go. Okay, so here we go with the solo breakdown. We will try to analyze each line. Each line lasts for about 2 bars. You could say that each line goes into the next chord of the progression. We will do some analyzation of the notes. We will try to analyze where I think this is going to be really beneficial to us. But please note, not everything has to be over-analyzed, because there's just a lot of C minor pentatonics going on as well, and sometimes you could just better leave them as is and think of this as C blues. Here we go. First line. So this is happening over a C minor chord. Here the chord goes to G minor, the chord progression goes to G minor. Over the G we play. You could also think of this as a B flat major scale little line. 1, 2, 3, 6 for B flat is the tonic for G. But over G minor you will hear a flat third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and tonic. Which I think is beautiful. Next line, still on the G minor 7 chord we play. There will be a G minor lick, G minor pentatonics. We play a E flat. The thing is, we go to F minor later on in the progression. Just now, the E flat will be a flat 7 for F, so he plays this note to support the upcoming tonic. This is going to be a bit weird, this E flat here, but then it makes sense because the progression goes to F minor and you play. Here's the thing, this works really well in improvisation. If you play a minor chord, if you have a minor chord, and you think of the 5th degree minor 7 arpeggio or minor pentatonics, this works really well to create some interesting notes with stuff that's actually pretty easy to play. This is what he does here. So you have your F minor chord, so he plays. You could think of this as a C minor line, but over F this sounds like tonic, flat 7, 5th, sort of takes away from the tonic and makes a little bit less emphasize on the tonic, and it creates beautiful sounds. So you support on the 5th. And this C minor 7 arpeggio, for C minor this would be 1 flat third, 5 and flat 7. Over your F minor this sounds great as 5 flat 7, 9 and 11. So you get your minor 11, minor 9, 11 sound. So here's what he does in this F minor. And then we are back on our C minor again. So we're back on our C minor 7, and the next line is going to be really cool. I would say this is the coolest line of the whole solo. It's quite a mouthful, but it's also like a really cool switch in timing as well. You could think of this as a melodic minor phrase, or at least the melodic minor ending ascending. Major 6, major 7, tonic for C. This is like flat third 9, tonic for C. And then he plays this. This you could think of as a G7 flat 9 arpeggio. The G7 flat 9 chord is not there in the progression, but he sort of thinks it right there. And then it exists. Can you hear that? Now this is C minor material. So we have sort of picks up the swing again over there. Chord progression goes back to G minor 7 and we play, which is not so interesting note wise, but it's beautiful timed. So we have a, you could say B flat 5, 3 tonic, but over G7 it sounds like flat 7, 5, minor third. Lick, we land on the F, and the F is going to be the tonic of our progression right there. We extend that line a little bit by playing regular F chord material. This is like minor third 5 and tonic only. And then to land back on our C in the progression. But here he does it again. This this fifth degree minor idea. I mean, you could say this is C minor pentatonics, but this is happening over F minor. So you hear 11 tonic and 9 flat 7. And there we are back at our C minor again. I think it's a really cool line. Okay, that's the end of the A part. It's now time for the B part. The progression goes to B flat. This is B flat 7, B flat 13, whatever you please best. Here's the line. It's basically a Mixolydian scale, but played in a bit of a legato fashion. It's quite challenging to play this correctly. I'm not 100% sure he plays it like this, but I think he does. Check it out. That's quite hard. So he extends that line a bit by playing this. And then we back on our C minor chord and we continue descending. And we start on this B flat here, which is the flat 7 for C. I'm not 100% correct about this one either, but I think he does this, and at least we can do this. It's like basically triads all the way down, timing wise. Oops. So it's Aeolian minor down towards our fifth. It's pretty hard to hear this on the record. Something like that. We are still in C minor, and now he plays this, which is basically a bit of a scale-based line upwards. There's a little bit of a legato phrase, 9, flat 7, pretty cool. The chord progression goes to B flat again, and here we start with this note, the 9 for B flat. So what's happening is a pretty cool line. We have our 9, our tonic, the major 6 or 13, perfect 4, 5, 3, 9, sus, 3, the 9 again, tonic, major major 7 and then land on our flat 7. So that's a pretty interesting line, a lot of chromatics going on. I mean, a lot of chromatics, this is a chromatic part. To connect those two lines together, they belong together. We will go back to C, but this is still happening on the B flat. It's like a C minor blues line. We don't have to talk about this too much. On this note, the flat 7, we are on the C minor chord again. We play a little bit of a tremolo picking idea. There's a blues line for C. And this A flat here is the same idea as we saw before. We play a flat 7 for the upcoming root note of the chord that's coming up. So play A flat because the B flat is coming up again. So on that B flat chord we play, and here he plays a little bit of a mistake on recording, or it's just accidental. Just a little bit of a happy accident. He mutes a note, but you hear on the recording something like this. Some mute there. Let's make this a 6 and help the guy out a little bit at major 13. On the B flat chord. Next he plays this. You can think of this many ways. You could say this is for C minor, like minor 3rd, a perfect 4th, 5th and flat 7. I would say this is an E flat major, like a major parallel line. So we hear a sort of a major 6 for E flat, which is not coming up, but it's happening on the B flat chord, but that doesn't matter too much. He plays this with a heavy vibrato, which is cool. And there we are back on our C minor chord, but this is going to be the C minor chord that's going to have this descending chord progression. So C minor 7, C minor major 7, C minor 7, C minor 6, which happens to function as an F9 chord, F dominant 9. So over this descending progression he plays a really cool line, this. So he emphasizes this descending chord progression by playing these top notes. So we have the major 7 and the dominant 7 or the flat 7 before playing blues again. I think this is really cool. Chord progression goes to A flat or A flat 6. He plays a C 3 times in a bit of a staccato way, pretty cool. But the C happens to be a major 3rd over A flat, so that's why it sounds spot on. The chord progression goes to A diminished and he plays C minor scale material, but this works because you get your flat 5 sounds. Chord progression goes to D flat half diminished, which sounds like a harmonic minor thing coming up. Then the chord goes to G7. He plays something really cool here, I think. So what's happening? This you could say is a C minor blues lick. And then you'll hear your G altered sounds, which is augmented 11th. This is a major 3rd. This is a flat 9, this is a sharp 9, this is your flat 9, resolving to G the tonic, but this is resolving on a C chord, so this is our 5. I think that's really cool. Chord is back at C, and we play from this 5 all the way up. So this is C minor triad, 5 tonic, flat 3rd, 5 tonic, flat 3rd again. Pretty clever, nice style playing. Don't have to talk about this too much, I think. Chord goes to G minor again. I think he plays it like this. Like before, for B flat this will be 1, 2, 3 and this is 6. For G minor this is flat third, 4, 5 and tonic. Still happening on the G minor, he plays a C minor line. Sorry, I was wrong here. The chord goes to F minor and he plays a C minor line again. On the C note, however, the chord progression comes to a close and we end with this little bit of a turnaround, so D half diminished, G7 flat 9. And on this C we play, which is just a C minor blues lick over this G7. The very last line, however, is still a little bit interesting. He plays this. Now guess what this is then? 4th, major 6, major 7. So that's a melodic minor line again. And that C is the break again before the theme starts. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully this was of any use to you. Please let me know in the comments if it was or if it wasn't. And please take care, behave, and we'll see each other soon.